Hi, my name is Emily Harrison, and I'm really excited to share a story with you that just might change your life because it sure as heck changed mine. I grew up in this really small town. My mama was a Sunday school teacher, so I was all about being up in the Baptist church there in Louisiana, Missouri. I was Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesdays. I was in the youth group. I grew up going to church camp. And there is something about organized religion that just didn't work for me. Although I really loved the idea of spirit and a universal energy, of that God energy, I didn't really like being told that I was a sinner. And eventually I rebelled substantially. I decided that it was time for me to move to Hollywood to seek my fame and fortune as an actress. So at the young age of 19, I packed up from this town of about 3,000 people where I grew up, and I moved to Southern California, to the Los Angeles area, which is where I live now, with my husband and 3 kids, to pursue Hollywood. And things unfolded pretty quickly for me. I had a lead in a movie. Granted, it was a cult classic, very B movie, within about a month. And I worked with a lot of really great managers and agents. I studied with the top acting coaches all over Hollywood. One of my favorite coaches actually told me that I would have to get hit by a bus not to have a career in Hollywood. And, well, I guess the bus hit me. I got fired from the biggest break that I ever had. And it was hard. Like, that rejection, dealing with that daily rejection, left me really broken, really frustrated, really sad, really depressed. And I tried a lot of ways to fix that. I tried, the standard pharmaceuticals that a lot of people use to try to lift themselves out of this state of depression that so many people in our society find themselves. And nothing was working. I found that meditation really, really worked for me when it came to calming my mind and creating new ways of thinking. Every single day I would listen to energy speakers on podcasts on the internet who had different healing modalities. They all seemed to be psychic healers. They could clue in intuitively on exactly what was going on with you and help you shift whatever dis-ease was happening within your life. And it worked. It started working for me. Every single day I would do whatever the energetic exercise for that day was, and I started feeling better. I started feeling shifts happening. And this nagging voice, which turned out to be a really great voice, I'm glad I listened to it, said, you know what, Emily, you can do that too. It's not just these people who feel like they were born with these skills. Everybody can develop the ability to self-heal, to become intuitive, to activate extrasensory perceptions that in this society we haven't been taught about. We haven't learned that we have these extrasensory perceptions that are like superpowers, and we haven't learned how to use them. There's significant evidence to show us that our DNA plays a part in that. Now, scientists have known for a long time that we've had 12 strands of DNA, but they've only been able to tell us what 2 of those strands do. Those other subdimensional layers of DNA have been labeled as junk because scientists can't figure them out. Those subdimensional layers of DNA connect us to the subdimensional layers of consciousness, of reality, the things that we cannot see. And when these other strands of DNA have been activated inside of us, we then activate our ability to communicate with other realms of consciousness that we cannot see. Do I mean our loved ones who have passed on? Absolutely. Do I mean spirit guides and angelic forces that exist within a higher frequency of vibration that we can't see? Yes, I do. Do I mean that we can perhaps remotely view places that we've never been before? You bet. That's exactly what it means. So I decided to seek out a mentor who could teach me how to access the Akashic Records. Now, the Akashic Records are a dimension of consciousness where every detail, past, present, and future, has been recorded. Not only for the Earth plane, but all galaxies throughout the universe. It's like the universal internet. And so I became a student of the Akashic Records. I now proudly hold 3 certifications. The beginning level of learning to read the Akashic Records and to perform readings for clients, and I hold 2 advanced certifications that have to do with past life and ancestral clearings, and a 3rd advanced certification that has to do with invoking the Akashic Records to heal. Now, how was I able to learn how to tap into this other dimension of consciousness, and from here, sitting on the earth plane, read all of the wisdom that exists in the universe? Well, I have activated my dormant DNA. I have learned about the extrasensory perceptions we have, like the third eye, the pineal gland, that when it's activated and it's functioning properly, allows us to communicate with other dimensions of consciousness, with other dimensions of reality. I began my energy practice by just facilitating the readings and the healing sessions for my clients. It became obvious to me that instead of feeding people fish, I needed to teach people how to fish. I needed to inspire the belief that everybody can do this, and I feel like I need to teach them how. I've created an online course to teach people the specific modality of the Akashic Records, and I also give readings and teach classes out of Serenity Calling, which is a beautiful metaphysical crystal shop in Agora Hills. And I teach the clients there how to activate their dormant DNA, how to connect with their extrasensory perceptions. These are like muscles that we didn't even know that we had. Today's society doesn't teach anything about how to be psychic. But guess what? It's possible for every single person out there to activate these extrasensory perceptions. It's just awaiting our attention and our knowledge and our understanding. Not only do I work with my clients and my students on activating their dormant DNA and stepping into their extrasensory perceptions, but I do it with my 3 kids too. Some of their favorite practices are self-healing and telepathic communication with animals, with our pets. They love to feel the energy. They love to see the results when they align with who they actually are and step into a bigger version of themselves. This is absolutely normal dinner conversation at my house. My husband does, however, think that we might be a bit nuts. Now that I've created a successful healing practice and a successful business, he's willing to tolerate it. But he does look at me out of the corner of his eye. Now I'm ready to take my familiarity with Hollywood and my comfortability in front of the camera and do something totally outside of the box. No, I did not see my career going this way when I got off the bus from the Midwest. But I have to say, this is far more magical than I ever could have expected. The way my life has played out has been perfect. And I'm really excited to share the knowledge that I've picked up along the way of healing myself and activating myself with the entire world. And fix my hair. Do I really think that I can make people psychic? Heck yeah. Do I believe that there are skeptics out there? Of course. You bet there are skeptics out there. But what do we have to lose? You know, there are so many people who are seeking more in their life, more joy, more success, more compassion, more purpose. I feel like this is the link that's missing. I think it's time that we all consider becoming psychic.